Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Hello, hello. Are we back? Let me know as soon as you see us back, please. Or is it going to complete the event? Oh, is it back?
Oh, there we go.
All right, we're getting closer. You should have video now, but I can't hear you, so hang in there.
I see you. No, I just got on now. Just got on now.
Hello, hello.
Oh, that's great. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you.
Hey, look at this. This is working now. Oh my gosh. All right, let me find you. Where is Discord? There it is. Nope, that ain't what I want.
Okay, I am. So this was supposed to be an unlisted behind-the-scenes stream for supporters, but we had some technical difficulties. This is actually me
Yeah, that'll probably do.
being interviewed on another podcast that's going to start in a moment. I have him muted so he can't hear us right now.
Are you messing with me? I can't hear you.
No, man, I was talking to somebody else. Sorry, we're good. I just had you muted.
Oh my God, are you screwing around with me?
So for the people on my channel, you're getting a special treat. Gonna hang out. Once we start, I will not be able to talk to you guys directly. He doesn't, I guess, know that I'm streaming to the whole channel. I didn't even intend to stream to the whole channel, so surprise. But I'll only be available in text chat. But you'll get like a behind-the-scenes view, sort of, into what goes on over here. Good to see you guys. All right, I'm gonna get back over here to him now. All right, I'm good. Ready when you are. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you. Let me check my audio here. All right, I think you're coming through there. Can you go ahead and talk?
Mic check 1 2. Check, check. Mic check.
Okay, good. And microphone. One more time.
Mic check 1 2. This is not Governor Patrick Smith coming to you hot from Dallas, Texas.
Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna. Is there a way to just put you on hold, or do you want to? I've still got to start this show up.
Whatever you want, man.
All right.
I am here at your pleasure. Hot but not shirtless, not far. Not ASMR again yet. That was earlier. This was intended to be for those just coming in now. This stream is intended to be. It was supposed to be for supporters only. It's supposed to be an unlisted video link. But this is me being interviewed on someone else's podcast here shortly. And so I figured I would stream my side of it just as kind of a exclusive for the people that support Disenthrall. But they had some technical difficulties. Looks like we're getting started a little late here, 45 minutes late or so. And when I hit stream, it looks like it went live to the whole YouTube channel. So you guys are getting the raw, uncut, behind-the-scenes special of getting set up and about to go live on this podcast called Liberty Late Night. It looks like he's getting the final stuff set up now. So it's going to be me talking to Liberty Late Night, and this is the Disenthrall side of the stream that was supposed to be super secret exclusive. So fun times. Surprise public stream, everybody. Let's do it. I don't think so. Just so everybody knows, because this was not intended to be a public stream, super chat, all that stuff is inactive right now. It's not going to work. So if you do it, please don't expect it to, do the whole pop up and show everything stuff. So we're just hanging out. We were listening to music and stuff. So Phobe says, "You damned illegal immigrant stealing our supporters' money." Freeloader for life, says Live Fast Die Young. Yes, very raw, Zeku. Zeku, however you say your name. Also flipped over to OBS instead of my normal server. We were having some trouble getting the video working, so looks all right. Green screen's a little off, a little fuzzy, but not bad. Pretty good, right? So until he comes back and we get started, I have him muted right now, so he can't hear me. While we're just hanging out, chilling, we might as well chat about stuff, right? There's this one comment on our YouTube video, and I was going to do a live stream to address it, but since we're doing that anyway, let me see if I actually have time to address it now. If I get interrupted, I promise I will do it again later. There was a comment on one of our recent, I think on the recent live stream, that was actually like a polite question. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Ah, here it is. So this is on the most recent We'll Do It live stream. Ziku Maru, got it. What's that from? All right, anyway. So the user that wrote this name is Jen Suri P. He says, "Found you on BitChute, so at least not all your effort supporting other platforms is wasted." That's good to know. And I've had multiple people recently say, "Hey, I watch you on BitChute." So I appreciate you letting me know that you watch us on BitChute. Right now, that one's doing good. Uh-oh. We might be about to get started, so we might have to get back to this later. Yeah, let's save this for later. This guy's comment deserves some actual discussion, so we'll give it its due. Liberty Late Night. Let's do it. Oh, they're actually started. They're already live streaming. I just can't hear anything. Hope that's not a problem. They have 13 viewers. I can't hear them. They're talking. I can't hear them. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. We're going to get this. I swear to God, we're going to get this. Yeah, they've got like 13 viewers. They're live on Facebook right now. But yeah, guys, like I really put in a lot of effort when I do my streams for you guys to kind of get all the technical stuff worked out in advance to make it more so that, you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to talk crap, but you know, you got to put in work to get this stuff working. That's all I'm saying. I can't hear you guys. I wonder if they have me muted on purpose. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they have me muted on purpose. Hey guys, this is Patrick. I can't hear you if you're talking to me, by the way. Got a couple let me make sure. Yeah. Well, we got a couple interesting we've got a couple interesting talks coming up, hopefully. Sorry guys, I didn't intend this to be like a public live stream because, you know, it's going to be rough around the edges because it's just like a behind the scenes thing, but this was supposed to be supporters only, behind the scenes rough. So, yeah, I'm not going to apologize anymore. It is what it is. Oh, I can tell that Jim Jesus just did a super chat. Those are not wired up because this was supposed to be like a behind the scenes thing, so I don't even know what you said. Let me try and find it. Crap. See, now I feel bad because you donated money. Oh, you donated. Oh, no, wait. No, wait. Did you? No. No. Okay. Maybe I was wrong. Oh, you did? Why didn't I see it? Super chat or Streamlabs? Let's see. You did. $1. It didn't show me a message though. Sorry, man. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is supposed to be like a behind the scenes private thing for supporters. Just like behind the scenes, I'm being interviewed on somebody else's channel. Maybe sometime tonight, if they get it working. And so this was just like a hangout video chat in the meantime. So we'll see. People don't think it be like it is, but it do. Always the best messages. Yeah, just so everybody knows, super chat, all that stuff is disabled right now. So, This was supposed to be a non-public show. We're just waiting for them to, I guess, get me wired in or something on their end. We'll see how it goes. Michael Sullivan says, howdy from East Texas. I love your show. Michael, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. We'll actually do a live stream on my show here soon. This is not my show. I keep saying that just to make sure the new people coming in realize it. This was supposed to be an unlisted video only for supporters, behind the scenes of me being interviewed on somebody else's show, which is happening right now. So this is a behind the scenes. It's gonna be rough, guys. So hang out if you want. No guarantees if it's gonna work. We'll see.
Bye.
That's fine. I'll fix you. Hello.
Hey, I can hear you now. How's it going?
Okay. Yeah,
Hi.
we had to get the show started. Everything went wrong. Holy
Oh
cow.
my gosh, all of it.
All right. I'm sorry about that.
I'm so sorry. Hi, I'm Mary, by the way. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Mary. I saw that you guys started the show, and I was like, well, I can't hear anything. I guess hopefully I can, you'll sign language to me, and I'll respond that way.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, we wanted to do our apologies for starting late, and then everything is just being crap tonight for some reason. Laggy and just equipment is failing. So please bear with us, and thank you so much for coming on.
It's all good. I'm happy to talk.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
All right.
I'm gonna try to relax now. Can you turn up his volume in my ears though?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Great. Beautiful.
All right, let's do this.
I wonder how the
Wow,
Disenthrall
lag is
Pornhub live
with us
streams go. Do you
tonight.
make people mad while
Okay,
naked?
ladies and gentlemen, we have with us tonight
Yay.
Patrick Smith.
Yes.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hi, Patrick. Good.
Good. Thanks for your patience. Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
for working
on.
with me
Thank
there.
you for working with Dave on all of this.
All good.
Okay, I'm going to totally relax and chill now. So, all right. So, Patrick, I have to ask you, I usually ask everybody this in the beginning about how they came to Liberty. Do you consider yourself, are you an anarchist? Can I say that?
Yes, voluntarist, anarcho-capitalist, consistent libertarian. It's all the same thing.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah. Now, were you born?
I was
Were you born
born.
with this attitude? Or you were born?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Were you born, being an anarchist, libertarian, be for voluntary kind of attitude, or did this happen along the way?
No, I think I was kind of apolitical for most of my life. Kind of soft, non-thinking liberal coming out of high school because that's what the indoctrination camps train you to be.
Right.
Then my family, it was actually kind of abruptly shocking for me when I, came out of high school and talked to my mother, who was, not lefty, and I was like, oh my God, you're you hold these conservative positions, and you get that
Oh, no.
you get that ignorant, non-thinking, childlike rage that you see coming from things like Antifa. So they kind of opened my eyes to a wider world of politics, and so I was a Bill O'Reilly watching Republican type for
Wow.
a couple years, and then I started finding inconsistencies everywhere, and then I started. I actually was on the path to becoming a police officer, and
Wow.
but hold on. I was on the path to I was on the path to becoming a police officer because I was sick of their constant harassment and it was like, if you can't beat them, join them. The only way to be safe from
Right.
police harassment is to be a cop. And so I actually started looking into it for that literal purpose, and I started doing ride-alongs, and I just saw some of the most disgusting, inhumane behavior, unethical behavior.
Oh, gosh.
And so that was really the kick that started me looking at the philosophy behind everything that society is based on. And
Yeah.
I can tell the whole story if you want, but that was the turning point. And I discovered
Yeah.
Judge Napolitano and Stefan Wallanu, and went on from there.
Yeah. I mean, feel free to elaborate more on that, because I always find it very interesting, because it helps me realize that because we have all changed our viewpoints, that there is still hope for other people to change their viewpoints, that they will eventually come around like we did at some point. So
Yeah, so
That gives me hope.
the police thing was the big turning point because well, you know, as a Republican, you know, you kind of have a strong respect for the law, the rule of law,
Yes.
and you know, the people that protect your rights, and the documents that protect your rights, and so on.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I witnessed firsthand not only the police abusing me in unlawful ways, but then when I, you know, stepped over and became one of them, you know, even just for the early process of potentially
Yeah.
becoming a licensed police officer, I just went on a couple ride-alongs, and that literally is all it took. Like halfway through my second ride-along with a cop in Fort Worth, Texas, I was like, "This is some of the most evil shit I've ever." Can I cuss on your show? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's fine.
Yep, please do.
This is
Please do.
this is some of the most evil garbage that I've ever witnessed firsthand.
Yeah,
and these
yeah.
people call themselves heroes. And I'm like, look, I just can't do this. I can't be this. And so if their authority is invalid, then that pulls out the keystone from the entire sort of Republican or statist architecture. Like everything just kind of
Yeah.
collapses. And so I kind of went on a long journey to find out where rights come from, what they are, and that just kind of led me down. I discovered philosophy, and I've been studying it for years now, and my life changed, you know, forevermore. So I saw authority firsthand and saw its abuse, and then I tried to back it up with some kind of philosophical or logical explanation, found that there was none, and well, here I am.
Right.
I've just been chasing consistency my whole life, it feels like, and I feel like I've finally found a consistent position that makes sense. So.
That's so
That's
great.
what I love about it. It's so
Love
logical. You can just apply the rules and everything answers itself. You don't have to, you know, flub it at all.
Yeah. Now I was reading your Not Governor Patrick Smith page. Can you tell me how this all came about? You made the decision to run?
Oh, for the campaign in the Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
So I've been an activist for years now, and the primary method of my activism was YouTube content, making video content, discussing the philosophy, and I really just never. I would have made the case that, you know, voting was 100% end-to-end immoral because before I was confronted with the idea that it might be possible to run a campaign in a way that would be non-aggression principle compliant, I still make the case, like, if you vote for somebody, if you put your human action, if you take positive action to assist somebody in gaining power over others that they then use to harm others, well, you share culpability in those actions because you assisted them in coming to reality. And so, you know, I think I saw a couple people attempting to run. Adam Kokesh would have been one of them at the time, though things have changed with him since. But, you know, he was attempting to run a campaign espousing the abolition of the government, which would be a non-aggression principle compliant position. And so I decided to give it a shot. Like, I wanted to see if it's possible, if I'm actually represented by this government, if this government would actually allow me to withdraw my consent to be governed. And so it was kind of a massive experiment because, you know, we're all taught since birth that the government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. And so
Yes.
the only way that's possible is if you have the ability to withdraw that consent. Because if you can't withdraw the consent, then
Makes
it
sense.
doesn't actually exist and they don't govern
Exists,
by
yeah.
it, right?
Yep.
And so that was the initial idea for the campaign, was to see if it was possible to run a non-aggression principle compliant campaign for not governor of Texas. And about halfway through, I kind of changed gears to what I thought was a more philosophically consistent position, which was, look, I'm not even running to win, so to speak. I'm not running to be the white knight to ride in on my horse into government to free you all. That's pretentious and impossible and and an illibertarian message. I would even argue that's just not the voting process is an invalid one. It has no rightful authority over your life. All you need to do is make a personal decision to withdraw your consent. So I shifted gears on the campaign, and I created, with the help of some of my viewers, we created a Declaration of Individual Independence. And so I kind of made my campaign about sort of delivering that Declaration of Individual Independence to the world and using the political process, not for the purposes of getting votes and delegates and winning and blah, 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 but using it for the purpose of, sort of sliding behind that podium that so many normal people pay attention to just spread the ideas of liberty a little bit. So
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Now with Disenthrall, is this the way that you have been, you said you've been using like YouTube, doing videos and stuff like that. Is this where it all started for you then? I mean, doing YouTube videos like this, or how did you kind of get into like being out there and being an activist?
Yeah, it started with first of all, like studying to become a philosopher. The philosophy is the personal important thing that changed my life, and learning what are rights and what is authority and where does it come from and where do people get the ability to control other people against their consent. Learning that was first, then sharing that, because very few people are able to consistently, in an easy to understand way, share these ideas. And so I wanted to work in that area. I wanted to see if I could do it. And so that's where YouTube started. And then I guess I got lucky. I live in Dallas, which is an amazing city full of some pretty cool activists. And
we've met a couple of them.
Which ones?
Well, we got
Sean Jones. Is that who we talked to first?
Oh yeah,
it was our very first interview here. Is that his last name, Jones? I feel bad if I'm saying
so. Sean Jones.
Last name,
yeah.
But Ben White. Ben White is the one who introduced us to him, and told us to give you a. He's like, oh my gosh, this is my boy. Like, you got to get a hold of Patrick Smith.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
Ben's awesome.
That's the tip of the activist iceberg. We've got some really heavy hitters. We've got the people that led marches of hundreds of people on the Alamo for open carry gun rights, and
wow.
And so meeting those people, starting to participate and help organize and help run these events in real life was also a big part of my activism. Like we most recently we built a guillotine in my front yard, and then we marched it to the courthouse in Dallas, and did kind of a play on the yellow vest march thing that was happening in France.
Right.
that's
I love that. I love that. I mean, how was that received? For some people, do some people like, what are you doing? And some people maybe, say like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I want to hear what you have to say.
Everybody has opinions on activism, and very few people think that you're doing it right, but it is what it is.
Okay.
So,
sure.
And the one that I think most people think we are doing right, though, would be our Feed the Need event. I don't know if Sean has talked to you about that previously, but that's probably the most proud thing that we do.
I saw some
here.
of your posts.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, and I know that Ben has talked about that too, because Ben's the one that we're actually friends with and in this group with, that we are in contact with on a consistent basis. So, and I know that he's involved in doing a lot of different things, but Feed the Need. Can you tell us a little bit more about that so the other people here who maybe don't know what it is can learn?
Certainly. So I didn't start the event. I've just kind of helped out with it for the past 3 years or so, 4 years. I forgot exactly. But so the idea is most people are surprised to find, and this is true in other states as well, but it's definitely true in Texas, that it is illegal to feed the homeless in Texas.
That's so dumb.
And people, when I tell people that, they like double take. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like,
that's ridiculous.
These assholes, will literally threaten you with fines and jail if you feed the homeless. So
I don't understand.
when they first started doing it, there was, and people have been arrested. I think an entire church group in another city in Texas was thrown in jail, and it was a multi-year court case. And I think it created enough stink that they softened the law a little bit. Now it's only illegal to feed over, I forgot the exact number, like 60 people. So if you help too many people, it becomes illegal now.
Oh yeah.
Ugh,
And so the idea,
don't help
pushing.
too much.
the idea is we just get a bunch of really interested people, really charitable, kind-hearted, principled people to get very visibly armed and go out and very visibly help whoever the hell needs help in Dallas.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
6 years running, we have not so much as been like looked at sideways by the police. We had a couple people show up once that were the regulators, the people that we were supposed to beg permission and get a license from to do this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They showed up and started, demanding things, and that didn't. They left. Let's just put it that way. So no. So
Yeah.
the weapons. I don't really care much about the Constitution these days because I've looked into Lysander Spooner. The Constitution is unfit to exist because it's either facilitated the government that we have or has been powerless to prevent it. But when you're talking to the
Right.
normies,
And I didn't sign shit.
yeah. When you're talking to the normies, though, it's like this is what the Second Amendment is for. It's for standing up to tyrannical government. And what is a more tyrannical government than a government that would stop you from feeding homeless people? And so,
Right.
this event brings everybody together. It brings the voluntarists, the anarcho-capitalist libertarians together. It brings even the militia types together. It brings all these people that are normally totally disparate with that may fight each other on some of the edge. The edges of what they believe, but when you're helping people, you can really bring everybody together. And
Sure thing.
and so 6 years in a row, we're going to be doing it again in December. We're going to have a bunch of armed people breaking the law flagrantly.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
beautiful.
They are.
I love it
They are.
so much.
They are escalating this year, though. They've passed additional laws that make it illegal for them to, I believe, sleep in tents. So when around Christmas time, when it starts getting freezing weather here in Texas.
Yeah.
What we've done every year previously is we during the day we feed them, and then we go back out at night and we find, and you can watch videos of this on my channel. It's called Feed the Need with Don't Comply on my channel. You can see the video of us doing this. But we go back out at night and we literally find the people sleeping on the concrete. Now, if somebody had told me that people were sleeping on the concrete 4 years ago, I would have been like, what? Come on, on the concrete? They would die. No.
Yeah, that sucks
Yeah.
you right out.
They do that. There are people literally
Oh my-
sleeping on the ground, on the concrete in Dallas at night during the winter. They're homeless. They have nowhere to go. They don't have a bed. They have nothing.
Yep.
And so we go back out at night and we donate and we bring them tents. We have activists show up again armed and we pitch tents and we say, here, sleep in here. Here's some food, stay warm. That's what we do. And so I think they're passing laws now to make it illegal to have these tents. And they have gone through and cut people out of tents and thrown their tents away in the past. And so we're taking steps to sort of
Oh my
stand up to
gosh.
that
How
as well.
How can anyone see
How can you just say you're
any
just
of
following
these
orders?
actions? Yeah, and say
I didn't write the rules.
I'm just following orders. I have to go cut up this tent that this homeless guy is sleeping in, and then I have to throw it out, and no one's allowed to feed him.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Who enforces this bullshit? This is ridiculous.
When you have a belief in the validity of this thing called public property, well, somebody has to have control over it. And so they try and apply the private property norms to public property. So you have the tragedy of the commons. So you have a bunch of people that, sleep in the commons because it's not private. But then you have people that believe that they have the right to enforce normal private property rules on people on unowned or invalidly owned public property. It's just another negative effect of the communism that is statism.
Yeah. How? Now, okay. Do you ever feel down about anything? Like when you see the news, do you read the paper? Do you ever feel like, oh my gosh, this world? Or do you just see it as another opportunity for us to I don't know, bring hope or spread the message? Because I can't watch the news or read the paper because it makes me depressed. It makes me so sad.
If the first video setup that we had tried worked, I would have hit a button over here that would have had a Pepe clown pop out and do a honk honk. That's the past 6 months to a year.
I got a lot of buttons. I ain't one of them.
It's an important button. No, it's I don't have hope. I feel like I'm post hope. in some ways, but in other ways, I'm still very hopeful because on one hand, I really do see a lot of new volunteerists out there. I like the meetup groups. That's another big part of my activism is creating local meetup groups, like people meeting in real life, getting off of the internet and connecting and making friendships and stuff in real life is important to me. That is growing.
Yes.
The number of volunteerists are growing. That is indisputable fact. I see it happening. I am one of the people forming these groups of people, and these groups are growing. So that gives me an immense amount of hope because when you create one new volunteerist over the course of that person's life, chances are they're going to convince at least a couple other people. And, that is an exponential thing. That means that, it's growing to an asymptotic point where eventually enough people will hopefully understand these ideas that, my children's children will hopefully be free. So that does give me hope.
Yeah. What could somebody expect at a meetup? Like, or if we wanted to set up meetups, what do you do? What's the first thing? People are hanging out, just talking about stuff, or do you start planning things immediately, or is it just to chill out together and have a beer and just talk?
Oh, so what are the meetups about, or how to start one?
Yeah, what are they? Well, kind of a little bit of both. I guess like what are they about, if you want to say that, and then the first step if you wanted to create one.
So the meetups are they're like a touchstone. So here in Dallas, we have a lot of people. It's a big city, Dallas-Fort Worth. We have one every week. In other places, one every 2 weeks or once a month is more apropos for the population in that area. But the whole point is it's just a touchstone. It's just to realize that you're not alone, to find out that you have a tribe where you're at, because one of the problems with volunteerists not being very prevalent in the world right now is that it's easy to feel isolated and alone. And when you feel isolated and alone and you don't know any other real people that even know what the non-aggression principle is, it's easy to begin sort of feeling a little crazy, right? It feels like you're detached from reality because no one in your actual real life reality understands anything that you live your life by. And so just having a group of people where you can go and for one evening every so often sit amongst people that, understand everything, is super powerful. It's healing, it's bolstering, it's like it renews you. And so that is literally all it is. We hang out, we usually have a meal and talk. And, when new people show up, we talk to them about their beliefs, and we usually debate on random whatever topics that come up, and then over time, like actual real friendships form, and it becomes a real community that helps each other and backs each other up, and gets the hell off Facebook. It's powerful.
It'd be nice to have something offline. It's like we've created these communities online and everything, but it'd be sweet to actually have a community in your community.
Where are you at?
Yeah,
where do you live? Where are you from?
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay. All right. So I think there's 6
on the Great Lakes.
So my talk at Anarchapulco this past year was basically a 30-minute presentation on step-by-step everything you need to do to start a meetup group where you live. So that video is on my channel as well if you want to look it up. It's
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
It's basically a how to do it. How to meet volunteers where you live. How to create a meetup group.
Nice. I like that. So when you get together with people who are like-minded, people who maybe believe in voluntarily, donating and helping, and what if their sort of political views are a little bit different than yours? You get together and they're maybe talking about something that's way not libertarian, or
you mean like at the meetup?
Do you just Yeah. Or is it very clear that it is like, libertarian meetup kind of thing?
Well, the meetup's called Volunteerists of Dallas. I don't know if you've used meetup.com, but it's a website.
I have not.
Well, in 2012, 2011.
Okay, you were using it. Yeah. I just went to the meetings. Campaign. He told me when they were, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, so it's a website that is expressly for organizing meetup groups, and that's what I've found works really well. Way better than Facebook events and groups. Facebook is just garbage generally for anything. Yeah. But meetup.com has worked. I think we have the second largest volunteers meetup group in the world in Dallas right now.
Wow.
There's
That's
almost 600 members. probably 25 regulars. So just week to week.
Nice.
Yeah. It's good.
Yes.
Patrick, do you mind if I cut off my return video, see if I can get this stream looking a little bit better? It's freezing up for everybody out there, and I think I'm taxing my system.
You do you, man.
All right, let me see.
Okay, so we can still talk? Okay. All right. So I feel a little bit off tonight, and I have to apologize to you for that. Just when things go wrong and I'm just like looking at Dave and all the things that he's doing.
Yeah.
But
Luckily, she's here to talk.
so my brain is kind of a little bit scattered. But so what do you travel? You said you went to, and I know I'm going to say it wrong, but Anarchapulco, is that how you say it?
Anarchapulco, yes.
Did I? Yes. Okay. Tell me about that, because I've never been, and I just heard about it, I think last year, maybe for the first time ever. So what is it like there? And you're a speaker there?
I spoke last year, yeah, and I believe I have not announced it yet, so technically this might be an exclusive announcement, but I believe I believe I will be speaking there again this year.
Oh, how great.
And
That's exciting.
Anarchapulco is the largest anarchist convention in the world. Convention, event, resort, thing, vacation, time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a mix of all kinds of stuff. It attracts like 3 crowds, and they're all anarchists, but I found that there's like 3 flavors of anarchists. There's the
Okay.
there's the sort of like capitalist business, productive go-getter type A type, which is kind of where I fall into, maybe the philosopher types or the people that are interested in entrepreneurship and things like that. There's the sort of hippie type that enjoy just hanging out and doing drugs and relaxing and, expanding their mind. I'm not really good at even talking about the people interested in that because it's not my thing at all. But, that's certainly a large subsect of voluntarists. The people that call like everything medicine, that
Okay. Yeah.
if it intoxicates you, it's probably a medicine to somebody.
Yes.
And see, I'm getting disparaging. I don't intend to disparage, but anyway.
Okay.
Then there's
Rub some crystals on it.
there's the crypto people. So there's a lot of cryptocurrency types.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of IT, really smart IT people that show up there. And, that's kind of my line of work as well. So those are the 3 kinds of
Yeah.
people. And these are people that would never really associate much in real life. Certainly like the entrepreneurial leaders of business don't really hang out with the dread-haired hippies, doing ayahuasca in their ceremonies. They're just different,
Wow.
which also don't hang out with the, super semi Asperger's types that are prevalent in IT and coding. And all these people
Yeah.
show up to this one event and they all agree that it's wrong to initiate the use of force on anyone. And so it like for somehow it just works amazingly well. Like everyone just enjoys the variety of human that shows up to this event. It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Yes.
And it helps
That
that
sounds-
they do it on like a beach resort, so it's
sure.
a vacation at the same time.
Makes it better. Absolutely. How long does it run? Is it a weekend thing or a week long?
I think Jeff Berwick does like a 1 week. Don't quote me on this. You'll have to check the website. But he
Oh,
does like
that's
a
okay.
1
I'll
week
look, yeah.
dollar vigilante thing, which is much more cryptocurrency focused. And then there's the Anarchapulco week. So it's about a week long
okay.
stay in Acapulco, Mexico, on the beach.
Yeah.
Like, and it's such a weird experience because the police there are hired and are everywhere. They're standing around in like military BDUs with assault rifles, and looking
Yeah.
very militaristic. But it doesn't feel like you would expect it to feel. Like when you see them, you realize that they're actually there to sort of protect you from the actual bad guys, like the drug cartels and stuff that are certainly active in Mexico.
Oh.
So
Oh, yeah.
it's like
Yes.
when you see a cop here, you're like, ugh, are they gonna are they gonna accuse me of running a stop sign and cost me $300 or whatever? There,
Right.
like there's a cloud of pot smoke over the resort. There's people doing all manner of drugs. Like you walk out on the beach. I walked out on the beach, and there's a guy on horseback selling cocaine. Like, when does that happen in your life? There's just a guy riding on horseback along. Yeah.
Right.
And so you're surrounded by these people, these police
Beautiful.
that look like, they're in the
Yes.
military effectively, but they're there to protect you and they're not harassing people over this victimless crime stuff.
Right.
Wild, man. It's wild. It's
Yeah.
never experienced anything like it.
That would be really cool. I would like to
I
experience
just to
that.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need to buy cocaine from.
Oh
man,
no, I'm
horseback,
not
but
into that, but I would love.
I'd like to watch it happen.
Yeah, no, I-
like there's a
that's
guy
what,
on
that's what freedom
horseback.
looks like.
I don't partake in that stuff, but it was just a mind shift.
Yes.
Like, oh, a guy on a horse selling cocaine.
Selling
What do you
cocaine,
do
yeah.
with that? Yeah, no. Growing up in Republican Texas, that's just that's from another world. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I've never seen or even thought about it. Somebody riding horseback selling cocaine. So to see it on a beach would
Oh,
be
that's efficient. That is.
Yes, very efficient. Yeah. Now, okay, so are you from? You said you grew up in Texas. Are you still in the same area that you grew up, or did you move
Yeah, no, I'm
far from home?
I have lived elsewhere. I just really like it here. I can't
Yeah.
stand the cold, and it never really gets terribly cold here, so it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I love the cold.
I hate the cold. Tell me, where else have you lived?
I did a stint in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. That was miserable. I did.
It's a little more humid there.
Oh God,
It's
yes.
kind of hot there.
It's not as hot as Texas, but it's way more humid. It's so
Yes.
humid that the liners on the inside of your car doesn't stick. Like after you've owned a car for a year, your inner liner just
Oh my
starts
gosh.
falling on your head. And there's a big business of like reattaching your liner to the top of your car because it's so
Wow.
humid there. It doesn't stick. Glue doesn't function well in
Work.
Louisiana. It's so humid there. I've lived in like Washington State for a short time.
Okay.
I've been around.
Yeah. I've only lived here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and we have winter,
The deep winter.
Yeah.
very snowy, bad winter, but also nice summers. It's humid, but
Where did you say you are again?
Um,
I'm sorry.
Erie,
Erie,
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So right up on the lake.
Okay.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah, right up on the Great Lake there. Yeah, which apparently our lake levels are rising, and the beach is kind of
Yeah.
flooding a little bit, and
Cow farts.
it's the cow farts. Who knows?
All right,
Who
we got
knows?
video back.
Oh, yay, the videos come back. So, what do you do in your spare time when you're not working on doing a new demonstration or working on, a video podcast, doing interviews? What do you do for outside of this for fun?
Well, I'm an IT entrepreneur, so usually when I'm not doing this stuff, I'm trying to play in the realm of capitalism as hard as fervently as I can. So
That's great.
I've done my two recent companies were in cryptocurrency, doing some trade automation, loan automation, and some bots for in that space. And I also worked on a project called Face Mask, which allows you to post to Facebook in an encrypted way, such that not even Zuckerberg could see what you posted, but your friends could. So that's something that
Let's
I'm okay
talk
though
more
because
about that.
I blocked Zuckerberg so he can't see anything.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Dave put Mark on the blocked list.
That's the only person I've ever blocked.
you're safe.
Never been zucked.
So he's safe. Yeah. Can you elaborate a little bit more about that? Is that something that the average Joe we could have, or is that like far off, or do people really use it, or is it not available yet?
No, surprisingly, if you're really wanting to communicate privately, you probably don't use Facebook at all. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still around. You can still use it. It's not. I'm not actively developing on it. I'm moving on to other things. But no,
Yeah.
it still exists. It's a Chrome extension, or for any of the Chrome flavored browsers, from Chromium to Brave to
Oh, okay.
Dissenter.
Yeah.
And it manages all the encryption and certificates and keys for you, so that you can post
Wow.
to
That's
Facebook.
pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's like think of
Yeah.
it like encryption for your email, but it works on Facebook.
Okay. So this is like your thing. Like a lot of this goes over my head with the
Oh,
IT
yeah.
stuff, So
I barely understand, but I get an idea what you're talking about. And that's really neat.
I sort of kind of understand a little bit less than he does. That's super cool.
Search Facebook for face mask, one word, and you'll find that
Yeah.
extension.
Yeah, I saw a reference to on your actual page, and I was curious about that, but I didn't have a chance to look into it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Tell the people who are watching right now, and then we want to make sure we get links in the comments here. But where can people find you? You know, where can they find Patrick Smith, or not Governor Patrick Smith, whatever?
Disenthrall.me is the website that you can find links to all of our platforms that we publish to, and there's like 8 of them now because I've really spent the last year trying to embrace all of the alternate media platforms and try and entice people away from YouTube and Facebook. So
Yeah.
we are pretty much literally on everything that is an alternative that's out there. So you can find all that on disenthrall.me/platforms. You can find
cool.
find us
Yeah.
there, and on YouTube, youtube.com/disenthrall. So that is us.
Yeah, I just recently got this page onto Twitter, and I'm like, this is weird. we're like the boomers of the group. Like, how do you do this Snapchat thing? I don't understand that at all.
Not real boomers. We just play them on TV. No, I don't know how to use Snapchat. Whatever. I'm not embarrassed. So, all right. So we're coming up to the weekend. It is actually Friday, right?
It is.
I know you work,
Yeah, I
so
work the
that this
weekend,
feels
so.
weird because Dave's not off this weekend. But what are you going to do this weekend? Any fun and exciting plans?
Oh, no, we have some medical issues in the family, so a lot of my free time is just hanging out with the family and enjoying their company. So
Okay.
nothing
all
terribly
right.
exciting right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that's nice that you guys can all hang out and be together. And what's the temperature like down there right now? Is everybody staying inside where it's air conditioned?
Hey,
Because
hey
it's
Google,
hot?
weather.
Right now in Flower Mound, it's 84 and partly
That's
cloudy.
84
Tonight,
at
it's predicted to be
that's-
Okay.
9:30 at night, so it's probably like mid 90s. I said
I
okay
don't like
Google,
that.
so anybody with a device that's listening to this video
Right.
just got triggered.
Phone going off.
What's happening? Okay, how do you feel about all that stuff? And are you into conspiracies at all? Are you into that? Tell
What do
me,
you
how
mean?
deep do you go into the conspiracies?
What do you mean?
Like, we all know our phone is always listening.
Our
to
phone
us,
is listening,
at least for ads.
Yeah. And sometimes like I say that and people look at me like, you think so? And I'm like, I do not need a foil hat because I said that. Like my phone actually, I know it does because ads pop up when I've only talked about it and not searched it. So, but any other kind of conspiracy kind of thing, like, do you get into that or do you just kind of push that aside and not care so much?
So a conspiracy means, somebody trying to do something nefarious in secret. So certainly there are people trying
Yeah.
to do nefarious things in secret.
Sure,
Now,
yeah.
if you mean like typical tinfoil hat conspiracy theory type stuff, I try and look for evidence-based answers to things.
Yeah.
So if there's something particular you'd like to talk about, I'd be happy to get into it. But yeah, no like blanket statements on all conspiracy theories. I'm sure that some of them are true, and I'm sure that some of them are false.
There's been a deep one going in this chat that's been going in the group for a while, and they've been all following the whole pedophile ring, Pizzagate type stuff. And it was going really hot in the chat here. Just like, I don't even know if they were watching. They're talking about that, but that's some weird stuff that I don't even want to know about. If
Same.
in fact any of it is true.
Same. Yeah. No, what I was, I don't know if, tell me if you don't want to go into this, because this is one of those topics that not everybody does want to get into, but
Oh, get into it.
I was heartened by the response. I don't know if you remember, 4 to 5 months ago, there was a well-known voluntarist on Facebook that was outed as abusing his kids sexually. And
I heard something. I
Yeah.
know about it, but I don't know any of the details.
And there's always these debates over every little thing, like especially on social media, especially on Facebook. Like there is nothing that these people will not argue about. And
right.
Oh, yeah.
for the first time since I've been involved in any of these spaces, it felt like everyone like unified in protection, in outrage and a will to protect
Yeah.
these kids and to help that situation. And, there were donation drives with thousands of dollars raised and people, researching to find this guy's location and make sure that he was, made safe. It was
Wow.
just, it was like a happy ending story for me. I know it was a tragic situation, but it was like the first time I've seen everyone unify. You know, everyone, even like the commies were like helping out. You know, like they were all like just everyone. It unified everyone, and that's a little bit of hope there, right? So
It is. It really is. I'd love to see people get together and
for something moral like that, you know.
Yeah,
it's like there's not a whole lot of dissension.
right.
yeah.
Yep.
Saying, well, maybe no.
No.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
go ahead.
Now, I guess if you were talking about like the Google devices, you know, that like the one that I have next to me.
That just kind of
yeah.
tipped. Yeah, that just made the
No,
thought pop into
there's
my head,
there's very legitimate concerns there. And I've done a lot of I'm in IT. I'm very familiar with the inner
Okay,
workings
so yeah,
of all
you
this stuff.
have an insight.
Yeah.
The Amazon devices seem to be significantly more vulnerable and have had a lot more issues with you know, recordings being randomly sent to Amazon that get stored forever and such like that. So I don't have any of those Amazon devices in my house. The Google devices, I set up very specific monitoring software on my network that counts the bytes in and out of the device on an ongoing basis, and there's a threshold alert. So I see exactly when it sends zeros and ones on my network, and I have watched it over a long period of time, so I know that it only sends my voice to Google when I trigger it, and I watch it, and there's a threshold set up that will send alarms to my phone if it ever steps out of line and starts, you know, monitoring like it shouldn't be. So
That is
Wow.
awesome.
it has earned its trust over time with me. It's like
Sure.
trust but
That's how they
verify.
get you.
I've been verifying it constantly. So, you know, it's
Yes.
certainly possible that, you know, the CIA or the NSA could grab Google's deployment certificates and push a software update to it that would allow it to, you know, turn on its microphone and start sending my voice out 24/7. But, you know, I took specific steps on my network to monitor that exact thing. So if it starts sending more data than it's supposed to, it will be shut down. So it's
Wow, that's
Wow.
amazing.
I'm not a standard use case. That's why I have one. And
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's why just hearing you say that, I'm like, but that's really cool. That I, don't know, I always
His
just
mind is
assumed.
blown right now.
No, I always assume that they would just listen, just if only for ad purposes, just
Mhm.
looking for keywords or something to put on your browser next time you log in.
So the truth is, and I can only speak to the Google devices because I haven't done the Amazon one, but the truth is the Google devices do not. There's headlines like on what is I forgot the news service, but you know, there's always headlines just like Google records everything you say. It is factually inaccurate. It just doesn't work. I've monitored it. I've watched for it. It doesn't happen.
Wow.
Now, is there any way to watch your phone like that?
That is much harder because
That's what I figured.
yeah, because that has, you know, direct cellular access that you can't necessarily monitor. So I trust my phone a lot less than my Google device right now because I can monitor that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put this in the microwave, keep it in there. For
There you go. That works. Yeah.
Do you think that they listen to us? I mean, you know, whatever, whether we're on the phone or we're just near our phone. I mean, do you feel that we are being listened to? And I say they in a broad sense of, you know,
See, I always
just
think of it more of they're just collecting it for future reference.
Do I think that they're like
They were
recording all conversations all the time? No.
or well, not all of them, but just, I mean, even listening here and there.
Oh, sure.
For whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
Yeah.
the technology is so simple and the amount of data involved in a phone call is so small that it would be very possible
Yeah.
and easy and not even difficult to store a large number of phone calls very, very easily. So from a technology perspective, like I could roll a system together, you know, in a few months they could do it. And if I could do that, you know, somebody with the resources
Wow.
of a government could do it. It's not even a problem.
Yeah.
Like this probably was easy for them 15 years ago. Like now it's probably a transparent system that runs in the background for them at this point. Yeah.
Right.
Just something there, just in case.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, just
you
in
need it
case.
Yep.
You know, I have to say, and I have come a long way from, and I feel like we all really have come a long way from where we were. I remember when I used to think that having cameras out on the streets and stuff was like a good thing because it's going to keep us safe. Because what kind of bad person is going to try to do something to somebody when they're going to be recorded? And you know, I used to think all that kind of stuff, and now I'm just like, ugh, I can't even believe I used to think that. But I understand. Like they try, I think to use the whole like, oh, it keeps you safe,
the safety-
security,
safety.
you know, and they push that on people. Well, we're just listening in here and there because we just want to make sure that like nobody bad is saying anything or, you know, nothing's getting cooked up or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. I have a hard time like talking to my parents and I feel really bad.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
there's a lot of that attitude. If you're not doing anything wrong,
Yeah, then you don't have anything to be worried about. How do you talk to people? Like, do you, when they present, like they say something back to you that's just like, you know, well, do you want to go over there and have the war? Or would you like them to come here and have the war kind of thing? Like my dad says, God bless him. I love him so much. But when, you know, he's like, I'd rather they take the, you know, send the troops over there and fight it on, not on our soil. Like, how do you come back to that kind of stuff?
I usually begin with like it's hard without actually having a person I'm having the conversation with to but
yeah.
I really, really try and start by disengaging people from collectivism. You are raised from birth to think in terms of we, our troops.
Mm-hmm.
We are in Afghanistan. Our military.
Yeah.
We need to go and do this, that, and the other. Like, this is just how people talk. And the language influences how you think. So if you think in terms of you being a part of something happening in Afghanistan, then you're going to think that you have something to do with something happening in Afghanistan. Like, I am me.
Yeah.
I say this all the time, like every day these days. I am not part of that we. I am myself. I've never been to Afghanistan. No one over there has ever attacked me or harmed me in any way. I have not sent anyone over there to kill for me, and I want no part of that. And if they become a credible threat to me, then you know we can see about organizing a defense against that. But I really try and individuate because it's like it's the antithesis. It's the antidote to collectivism. And it's all collectivism.
that's a nice angle. Yeah,
I like that so much. Okay, so if you had to tell me 3 books to read, what would you say?
Larkin Rose, Most Dangerous Superstition. And I led with that one because the last time somebody asked me that question, I forgot that book and I kicked myself for like weeks afterwards. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, no. Larkin Rose's Most Dangerous Superstition. Lysander Spooner's Constitution of No Authority. No Treason, Constitution of No Authority.
Yeah.
And then let's see. That one was a big one for me. That one really, it just kicked the legs out from under the idea that the
Constitution.
Right. It kicks the, like the just authority of the Constitution. It just destroys it. Like after you read that book, you cannot hold that document is valid or consented to by anyone. And you know, maybe for the more normie, I'll suggest one for the more normie types. So if you're talking to a more status type who isn't ready for the hardcore stuff yet, Judge Napolitano's It's Dangerous to Be Right When the Government is Wrong is the name of the book.
Oh, right.
And it is really good. It is really good. He breaks it down into all these different areas of political discourse. And he's like, well, here's what happens when somebody disagreed with government. Oh, they destroyed that person. Got it. Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Violence.
It's really good.
Violence and violence. Every answer seems to be violence. It's weird.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean,
okay, so what is he?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you please.
I was just going to rattle off a million other books, you know, Anatomy of the State.
Oh, wait, please do.
You know.
Dave's got a pen here. Everybody is interested, so please.
Well, I'm sure you've read all the Rothbard stuff. There's a couple other Napolitano books that are good. The Body Keeps the Score. And this is more of like a mental health related book. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. And it talks about how trauma changes you physiologically. And one of the quotes from the book that really kind of summarizes the whole thing is that experiencing, like once a person has experienced trauma, they will then experience the world through a different nervous system. So like the nervous system is physiologically different. and going forward, it's like it changes the code running on the hardware to the point where new experiences will be processed differently than old experiences would.
Wow.
So that's powerful. It's a good book.
That is.
Yeah. Talks a lot about PTSD. So if you know anybody that has PTSD, in military kind of trauma, it's good for that too.
Yeah. I like that though. I might be interested in just I mean, I think all of those, but that sounds super interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
You did write that down, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
There's one more. It's the main book for family systems therapy. Have you heard of that therapy before?
I don't think so.
I'll have to find it later. But
Okay.
yeah, I'll have to find it later. Internal family systems therapy. There's a book. If you Google it, you can find like the main book on internal family systems therapy. That will make you a better parent as well. It teaches you how to sort of reparent yourself and kind of realize that the way that you interact with the world is very much linked to how you were raised and past trauma and things like that.
Oh wow. Very interesting. Yeah. Do you have kids?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we got 3 kids, and right before, like, I was like trying to I'm like pressing them into their bed, like, please go to sleep, while Dave's trying to make this whole connection thing work here from our end. So, but yeah, that would be really interesting to kind of read about that, being a parent, and then I look back at my parents and I call them and say like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm so like about how I acted, and you were just doing your very best. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a strong advocate of peaceful parenting. I've got I have a 19-year-old daughter that was raised very traditionally for the South, very forceful parenting, spanking, control, punishment, stuff like that. And then my 2 younger children have been peacefully parented, very near to zero force parenting, as near as I could get it. So I think my son was like almost 4 before he heard somebody, like before he witnessed one adult yell at another adult. Like that, it just wasn't in his life until he was almost 4. And so we've been parenting very purposefully now. So I've seen it both ways. I've done it both ways. And so I spend a lot of time speaking about, I spend a lot of time speaking to the people that still think that spanking is not only okay, but something that is necessary for parenting. Like a lot of people that spank would say that if you're not spanking your kids occasionally, then you're a bad parent. And so I spend a lot of time talking about that subject to those people because, look, I've done it both ways. I've seen the differences. I can tell you firsthand that it is unnecessary, and that's not even getting into the moral argument of hitting somebody to get them to behave how you want. But yeah,
right. That's hitting them to get them to behave the way you want.
This guy in the chat's wearing a yellow vest. I feel like you might know him, Kelby Casebolt.
Yeah.
Keeps asking about the guillotine.
Another local Dallas activist. Yeah, we got a lot of good ones here.
Yellow vest. I'm like, that looks familiar. Ben White says he wants to hear about the Slicey boy.
Do you have my video up?
No.
Okay.
No, I had it before. I had.
Oh, the guillotine thing. Yep.
I might have it somewhere, but I don't have it.
I think it's on the computer upstairs until we move down here. Into the
studio down here.
You can find pictures of it. You can find pictures of it.
Yeah.
So good.
I love that stuff. That's really sends a message to think about. Like, you might want to pay attention to what you're doing in your positions of power, because things could always go south at any minute.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's the Slicey boy.
Yeah, the Slicey boy.
The Slicey boy.
I love that the news came and covered it.
Yeah.
When you guys were out there.
And got a little bit of the
just because
juror nullification message there.
Yeah. Just because I feel like they shy away from anything that's not on track with mainstream politics and stuff. So that's so great. How often do you guys do the jury nullification stuff? I mean, are you down there on a regular basis talking to people before they go in?
One of the most prominent jury nullification activists, I think, in the country right now is Bob Smiley, and he's local to Dallas. And I I want to say last time I checked, I think he's been out there at least once a week for like years now. And
Oh, that's so great.
people show up with him. Sean Jones is pretty involved with Bob on that, and I think they go out there pretty frequently. And I think there's some other people there's other groups starting up around the country as well that are kind of linking up to do it.
When have you been approached by the police? I mean, you say when they do the
when you're feeding them.
feeding the hungry and homeless people, but in other instances, I mean, when you get approached by a police officer or they're like near you at all, do you feel nervous? Because I get nervous, and I hate that I feel nervous when they're around.
Even when we're doing nothing wrong.
Even when I'm doing nothing wrong, but I feel like they could just take my freedom away for no reason at all, but do you
sprinkle some crack on her?
do you get nervous, or do you talk back? I mean, not talk back like with an attitude or anything, or maybe with an attitude, but how do you interact? How do you interact with them? Thank you for finding that word for me, Dave.
You mean like if I get pulled over, or if I just if one sits down to me, sits down next to me at the bar, or
anytime?
Are you ever approached at any of the places, at any of these functions that you're attending? At
the events, you are, especially if you're on the organizing side of an event, your behavior has to be pretty. You have to act in an intentional way because, especially if you're breaking the law at the time. So you have to be very, it's not about making a statement or, getting into an argument at that point. Yeah. So
you don't want to end up
I would,
with a knee in your back.
I would say the demeanor with most people at those events is very professional. So, dispassionate and, we're here to do this thing, and you're ostensibly here to protect our First Amendment right to do it. So,
thank you for your service.
We'll just be over here telling everybody why you're terrible. Now protect us while we do it.
Right.
So,
put on those earmuffs.
I don't know. Traffic stops are different for me. It really depends on my mood at the time. They're not there to learn anything from you, so there's very little that you can actually do. There's a lot you can do to make it worse. So there's on yourself.
Oh yes.
And there's not much you can do to make it better.
Yeah.
Walk that line.
So it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. How many tickets I want to pay for.
Yeah, that's true.
If I can get good YouTube video out of it, it might pay for the ticket. So sometimes I make it a little more spicy. So
that's
if I can monetize the fascists,
Hey, why not? Right. Patrick, thank you so much for coming on. I know we're going to probably close up here in a couple minutes because we do a tiny after party after the main show and our other group. But then Dave's got to go to work early tomorrow, so we have to kind of end things a little bit earlier this evening. But Dave's having it. Boy, this is just not our night. I really am so glad you came on. I'm sorry again about all the technical difficulties. I think somebody dropped it was Ben White actually dropped the link to.
Oh, not that link. Okay. Yeah.
Your website. Can you say it again for us?
Disenthrall.me, DISENTHRALL.me/platforms if you want a list of all the stuff that we post to.
Okay. All right. And is there a video, like a beginner's list of things for people who are maybe new or want to learn? Is there somewhere that we could direct somebody who maybe is curious about learning but doesn't want to be like scared off by anything too out there?
Learning about what?
Libertarianism, voluntarism. Am I saying that right? And just the philosophy that you said that you had talked about and stuff.
Yeah, I did a video recently.
I'm interested in the philosophy part because I don't know. I know a little, but not a lot. I'd like to be more knowledgeable in that.
Well, what do you guys consider yourselves? What labels do you go by?
ANCAP.
Same, ANCAP. Yeah.
Okay. How did you guys? I guess I should interview you when you come on my show. But how did you guys come to that position?
Ron Paul. That's where it started. And then you meet other libertarians and you hit that slippery slope. And
I was a little bit slower going. I mean, I jumped into being a libertarian real quick after seeing Ron Paul in for the 2012 election. But ANCAP Dave's over here one day on the couch saying, like, I didn't sign shit. The Constitution doesn't mean anything. I'm just like, what? Like, hold on a second, buddy.
So were you active in like the Libertarian Party? You came into it through politics?
I kind of, like, friends told me about it. The first time I heard about anything, it was Ron Paul, but it was from my friend who went down the whole prison planet, Alex Jones corridor. And so he went that way, and I was a Republican, so I'm like, hey, that sounds kind of cool. And then I read Liberty Defined by Ron Paul, and I'm like, okay, this all aligns with everything I believe. And then I'm a very mathematical person, so I like rules and logic and stuff like that. And once I started learning like the NAP and stuff like that, and you apply that rule to everything in your life, it inevitably leads you to ANCAP or anarchism.
You were bitten by the consistency bug, the same one that got me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. If you apply the rule, then it goes to you can't have a government.
Yeah.
That is the logical conclusion for sure. Yeah. So to answer your question, I did a video called What's Your Politics? What is Voluntarism? That's on my channel.
Okay.
It's 2.5 minutes long, and it gives a really brief overview for new people into voluntarism.
Oh, great. Oh, good. I'm going to share it on my page too. See, I want to come out of the closet. I want to come out of the anarchy closet.
Yeah, because we're hiding in these groups.
I'm hiding right
What
now.
groups?
And I don't know how,
these Liberty meme groups. Like, we're actually running this stream in a group right now.
in a private group of
But
like
we kind of
20,000
branch
people.
out. Like, we do have the YouTube channel and stuff like that.
Yeah. But like, I haven't told, like, I know some of my extended family is just gonna be like, oh my, and probably not want to talk to me after some of the
If
things
they even know what it means.
Yeah, they might not, but I really just want to come out and say, like,
Keep it on the principle.
ahead.
Yeah. So what always happens is they, say, well, like you said, well, what about the Iraq? How are we gonna protect us? Just always bring it back to the principle.
Yeah.
Always make it personal. Like, look, I don't have the right to forcibly control people. I do not have the right to have government guns pointed at you to get your money to do the things that I want. I simply don't have that right.
Yeah.
And you don't have the right to do it to me. I respect you enough to not try and have them do it to you. I would ask you to respect me to the same degree. And if we can share that mutual respect, then, we can be friends. But
Yeah.
that's what I afford you. I afford you that respect, and I demand that you afford me that respect. I will not use force against you to get my way. That's the start and end of it.
Okay. Oh gosh. See, that's what I have to do.
Mind your business.
Yeah, mind your business. Yeah, I just want to feel free, and just how I don't know. I don't really post a lot to my personal page anymore anyway, but there's a lot of things. It's like, oh, I want to share that, or I want to share that. And I'm like, oh, there's going to be so many people commenting on it or questioning, or, my roads, or, taxes. And I don't feel like having that discussion. I don't always feel like having that discussion with people,
Hey, most of the time, Facebook discussions are less than useless. Like,
yeah. Less.
Oh, I'm good at just like.
I just did a video.
I'm not looking at that anymore.
I just did a video on this recently. let me know if you need to go. I'll shut up. But
Oh no, that's fine.
I did a video on this like yesterday or day before yesterday with Graham Smith, and one of the things we talked about was how to deal with trolls, how to deal with online discussions that just start going nowhere. Like, most of them go nowhere. Like, let's be honest, most Facebook debates go precisely nowhere and just end up like, you'll sit there and pound the keyboard for 6 hours in a day, and when it's all done, you basically either block each other or just kind of walk away mad. And and it's really important to start identifying those dead ends way before you've wasted your lifespan on them. And what we talked about was a really, really good way to identify it very, very early. Like, when it's a total waste of time, you need to walk away, is when you have a lack of curiosity. When you cannot detect any curiosity from the other person into your positions, you are wasting your time. Stop.
Yeah, you're yelling at a wall.
And
they're talking to a wall. Just
and one of the things that I do, like when it's somebody that I care about and I want to have a discussion with them, but I can tell they're not curious and they're just doing the Facebook debate thing, is I say, hey, I really, would you like to have a conversation with me about this? I want to do it. Can I call you? Can we like have a video chat? can we
Whoa.
get the hell off of Facebook? Like even if it's a stranger, I'll be like, hey, join my Discord server. Let's have a voice chat. Like, let's talk right now.
Yeah.
Let's actually talk. Like, get rid of the keyboard. It's useless. And that one of two
Yeah.
things happen. They say, oh no, I can't do that right now. Blah blah blah. Or they do it, and it's either productive or
Yeah.
it stops wasting your time. Look for curiosity.
I like that. Yeah.
Just you saying that in this interview terrifies me. Like, oh, you want to talk? I hate talking.
Look.
I'm way better on the keyboard.
I consider like myself an activist. My job in life is to make the world a better place. I have children. I think it has to be my job. I made children. I've got to do what
Yeah.
I can to leave them the best world I can. And so that means that I've got to be an activist. And that means figuring
Yeah.
out what will make the most difference. And Facebook ain't it. It is just not
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I will call people. I will talk to strangers right now. Like if one of you guys did not understand liberty, I would be like, hey, after your show, let's talk, let's chat, let's figure it out. And I will spend my time talking to people. But hey,
There is a Discord server.
if that's not your thing, like if that's not your activism, that's totally fine too. I'm just telling you what I do, what I find works.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's what I would love though. Is
That's
if
inspirational. to me.
yeah.
It's like I hate talking to anybody. I don't know why I do the show
because they make you sit next to me.
because I'm really good at the technical side.
That's what he just wants to produce
Yeah,
a show,
I'm
and I'm just like talking to people. So that's how we ended up here. Boy, I like that so much. I'm gonna really go on and learn a lot
Yeah.
from your page because I enjoy listening to you. You have a great voice, but it's also that you're intelligent and you're not. Oh, he just did the thingy. I'm like looking at the camera. I'm looking right in the camera. But it's like I can relate to what you're saying, and I feel like I can learn something from you that I'm not going to be like talked down to. That it's going to be worth my time. To listen, and like an investment in the future of whatever I'm going to do with.
Well, I'll give you,
Activism.
I'll give you an open invitation. If you ever have anything that you're stuck on when it comes to figuring out liberty, you have an open invitation to drop me a message and we'll set something up. And that really goes for your entire audience as well. Like if you guys are, I'm on board with small government, but when it just comes to this anarchy word, like I just don't see how fill in the blank is going to work. If you guys want to talk,
Yeah.
I'm here. This is what I do.
Oh, I love it.
Let's do it.
Yes. Thank you so
It's like,
much.
I know our chat's
love
really
that.
delayed, but a lot of people really enjoyed this interview. They like
Yes.
hearing from you. At least one person said it's our best ever.
Oh, wow.
And then a couple people said it's up there, so they really enjoyed it. I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of new people looking into what you're doing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'm one of them. I'm gonna get a little more.
Glad to
depth
have
into
you.
it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it was great.
I love this. Thank you so much, Patrick. I really appreciate it. And so does everybody else who's been here. I mean, really, the number has been consistent in the people that have been watching the show, too. And
Despite all the technical issues.
the technical
Like all
issues.
the horrible, like our first 10 minutes of this interview was just frozen screen. It was a podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm for some reason Discord just totally taxed my system.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you. I appreciate that invitation too. I'm going to listen to what you have learned and what you're sharing, and the books too. I'm going to go ahead
we can
and
get
get
some
some of those.
Have you read The Most Dangerous
Because-
Superstition?
No, I haven't.
No. Mm-mm.
Guys.
I need to read more. It's hard with my 3 kids.
No,
around.
yeah.
Go do that
we're not
now.
readers.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of part of our thing here is we're very ignorant, and we bring people on, and you have to teach us, which in turn kind of teaches our audience.
I just know I don't want anybody bothering me. I just want to live my life. And so I love to learn from people who know more than me about all of this.
How to verbally defend those
Yeah, because I don't
principles.
know what I'm talking about half the time. I just know, I just don't want to be bothered. Can we get government to not bother me?
Yeah, and I realize I love reading, but I have no time. And so what I end up doing is audiobooks. And I realize that most libertarian thought is in article form buried deep in Mises archives somewhere. and I just
Okay.
have no time to read this stuff. And so I've been
Yeah.
part of what I've been working on lately, and I was recently authorized to create the authorized version of the Most Dangerous Superstition audiobook. So I've been producing that recently. I'm voicing the audiobook.
Oh, very
And
cool.
it's
Oh my
it's
gosh,
going to be
that's so
amazing,
cool.
and so hopefully all these people that would like to read the Most Dangerous Superstition, but as an audiobook, will be able to do that soon.
And hear your
Yes.
voice doing it. That's great.
I've also I also got authorization for a couple of Walter Block's books to do the audiobooks for those too. So I just have so much work, and I'm trying to do it. If you haven't read Walter Block's books, man, that's another library of work that's really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, have you already done some of that? Like, I thought I saw a post where you guys were reading something. Or you were
Oh,
reading
you're talking about the book club episodes. That's like a miniature version of what I'm trying to do. Like I
that's what I
find
saw.
articles on these archives of, whatever, like really good principled anarchist, voluntarist, libertarian thought that's buried that no one ever will read unless they're nerds like me.
and they find it.
And so I find it and I just record it into an audio form and I put it on the channel. I call it the book club. And I name it the book club because like a year ago, Lauren Southern was going around the world disparaging this libertarian book club, like people that spend time debating the philosophy, nuances of philosophy and morality. She, is talking shit about people that are spending their life and brain power figuring out like the most important things
Learning.
in the world, right?
Wow.
And
Wow.
the reason why she does that is because the libertarian philosophy disagrees with her wall building efforts. But anyway, so I called it the book club as kind of like a jab back. Like, yeah, this is the book club. We're actually working on getting better and learning. So yeah, I
yeah.
that's what I do.
That's why I always say you'll never win an argument with a libertarian because we just spend all of our time arguing with each other. There's nothing we're better at than
I
fighting.
like that. Than fighting each other.
Imagine what I'll do to you. I just did this to somebody I pretty much 99% agree with. But we don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
I
like that, though.
Yeah, I try. I don't. Well, I know you guys are just having fun, but I don't make fun of that.
Yeah.
Like when libertarians talk about having infighting, that is amazing. That's a good thing. That has what has created. That's what has differentiated libertarians from the entire rest of the political spectrum. It's their ability to self-critically analyze, to debate each other, to find what the actual moral position is. Like without that,
Yeah.
we'd all be Republicans and Democrats or whatever. Like that is the
with
thing that
no
makes us
principles.
special is our principles. Like
Yeah.
I don't make fun of that. That's what makes us special.
It does get savage. though.
That's so true,
Yeah.
though. That's so true. I like how you put that. Yeah, because we would if we didn't fight each other and
Yeah, iron sharpens iron.
back and forth like that. Yeah, where would we just follow the wayside and go back to the two-party system and stuff? So
And you know what else is like the only place? If you need to go, tell me. I'll shut up.
nope,
It
you're
doesn't
fine.
matter.
But,
I
like,
stay on here way too late. It don't matter.
This nasty infighting idea that people get. Literally, it only comes from Facebook and social media. Like anytime I debate with people in real life, like I actually make progress. I mean. Maybe you've had a different experience, but
Yeah.
in person, it's so much more productive. And
Yeah.
because you,
Oh, yeah.
I would just say get the hell off Facebook with this stuff.
Nope. Nobody's hiding behind a keyboard.
I bet it is different having a conversation with somebody because when you are hiding behind a keyboard,
You can't use all those fallacies, all those logical fallacies.
you feel as though you are superior and you have
it's almost like
this-
road rage.
Yeah, and you are the computer and you're talking to another computer. It's like you kind of forget that you're two human beings, who maybe just don't see eye to eye on something. So
And the first step to changing somebody's mind on something is to not do it publicly. Have a private conversation so that they're not worried about losing
yes.
face. And what's the first
Yeah.
thing you do on
You take
social
the
media?
ego out of it.
Everything's public. Like if you prove
Yeah.
somebody wrong on
Don't protect my
Facebook,
friends.
Yeah.
they're looking bad in front of everybody. Right. So don't do it. Facebook is not worth it.
I'm very interested in me. I know there's people around here that we can hang out with and get to know
One of
better
our best
and
friends
do some
are
stuff.
Ron Paul friends.
Yeah, he popped in here
Yeah, he
earlier
might
too.
still be here.
Yeah.
Ron Paul popped in here?
No, boy.
We're trying.
That's at some point, hopefully. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
I want to see him speak one more time.
he spoke at Anarchapulco last year.
Oh, that's right. He did.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember
I
hearing
wonder
that.
how he liked the environment.
Yeah. Oh, I
I'm sure
wonder
he's
how
kind
he felt about all
sheltered
that.
through it,
Did he get to see the guy on the horse selling crack or cocaine?
Probably not. I'm pretty sure he was
Probably not.
protected a little bit more from that.
Blinders on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the guy on the horse was shirtless too. So just imagine like, a painting of
You
a
have to be.
shirtless horseback riding
Yes.
cocaine dealer. It was amazing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, I can see it in my head right now.
Just like the Old Spice guy.
The Old Spice. Yeah. I love
Only
it.
with cocaine.
Only with cocaine instead of Old Spice.
Exactly.
Somebody do that.
Sunset,
Aaron Hittner.
sunset and everything. Yep.
Yes. Oh, I love it so much. What are you thinking, Dave?
I don't care. I'm beyond caring now.
Oh, he's beyond caring now. That's great.
I'm drinking alcohol out of a mason jar, so this could get crazy.
Ah, yes. Do you ever sit back and have a few drinks at all?
Yeah, like usually I am like a very productive person, let's say, to put it lightly. Like I
great.
wake up
That's
and I'm
awesome.
looking for what needs to be done until I go to sleep. And I find that intoxicants like just slow me down and interfere with what I'm trying to do
Yeah.
in my life. And I do, like, it's not like I'm a teetotal.
bless
It's
you.
just like maybe 5-6 times a year I'll have, some beer or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
I wish I woke up like that. I don't know. How can I wake up like that?
Lots of coffee.
It's like, whoa.
Like you can't
Okay.
you can't tell this is not a normal coffee size. I'm a 6'6" large man, and so this cup is as big
Wow.
as my head. Just to kind of put it into
Oh my
perspective.
gosh.
This is my
Oh my
this is my
gosh.
coffee cup.
Why are anarchists so tall?
Yeah, there's Dave's
I'm
6'4".
6'4". Everybody like there's like it's a minority for
Mhm.
people to be in our group under 6 foot. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. I'm 6'1". No, I'm kidding. I'm actually 6'4"
You
as
can't
well
see
now.
us, but she
I'm
sits taller
5'8".
than me.
Yeah, I like my seat to be higher. I don't like to be crouched down like that. Yeah, only 5'7" here, so but still tall for a woman, I suppose. Doesn't really matter. I don't really care. But yeah, okay. So I drink too much coffee, then my anxiety is like crazy. So I don't know what to do about that.
Need to cut back on the alcohol. That's what we got to do.
What?
That's step one.
Step 1, cut back on alcohol, get better sleep. Oh no. Oh, sorry, Patrick. This is turning.
It's all
This
good.
is taking a turn. I've only had one beer. This is what we do, though. We just like to hang out and talk to people and get to know folks. So, have you seen the new Toy Story movie? I don't know how young your kids are. Do you guys follow Toy Story?
Have not seen it. So I said
No.
medical issues. My daughter was diagnosed with leukemia about a year ago, so she's
Oh my gosh.
she's immunocompromised, so she can't really go out in public very often.
Oh.
So that's why we kind of we hang out around the house for a lot of it. But no, we haven't
Yes.
we haven't done any of that yet.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
How old is she?
I can't bring the subject up without bringing the entire conversation down. It's fine. We're
No, you're fine.
we're
No,
good. We're
it's
good.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just have to kind of right now the treatment leaves us kind of in the house most of the time, which is fine.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and-
actually prefer.
yeah. How old is she?
My daughter's 4.
Okay.
Well,
All right. Yeah. That's.
I have 2 daughters. The youngest one's 4. Yeah.
The youngest one's 4. Okay. All right. So, but yeah, hanging out at the house, that's fine. I'm a homebody. I mean, I really am. This is how I interact with people.
This is our social time.
Yeah, I'm usually with the kids, and when I do go out, I'm so focused on them and like not touching or breaking anything where we are that
You don't see.
I don't see other people, like people come up to me at a store and be like, "Hey, Mary," I'm like, "Whoa, when did you get here?" So, but it's tough. So,
I'm seeing how delayed
Court-
our comments are.
Court, oh yeah, our comments are super delayed tonight, but Court says horseback riding cocaine dealer sounds like my dream job.
You guys live stream to
Court
Facebook
is in
only,
Texas.
or what do you do?
Yeah.
Facebook is the worst.
even expanded
Facebook is the worst video streaming
and
platform in
that's my whole
existence.
platform.
Yeah.
It is such a struggle every week.
Yeah, they have like
That's-
a
you
45-second delay sometimes with the video.
Oh, even
90
more.
seconds.
90
Yeah.
seconds.
90
In a private group, it's even. So see, I got to come out of the closet.
Yeah, we have streamed on YouTube, and that
Mhm.
like 10-20 second delay was like mind blowing to us.
Yes. Yeah.
But we couldn't tag our friends. We couldn't share. It's like there's
Yeah.
little things that hold us back.
So when you're doing stuff, I mean, are you recording ahead of time and then putting it on YouTube? Or are you live when you do your videos or some of your videos?
It used to be I only did pre-recorded stuff because I could kind of edit it and make it a little bit more curated. But lately, I've now that we have some viewers on the channel, I just have a blast interacting with people. And so most of the time lately, I've been doing live stuff. And
Yeah, that's what we're all about is interaction.
live stuff
Yeah.
is really, really better for getting donations as well. And the donations are helping
that's-
cover some of the equipment costs that then make the quality of the channel even better. So if the audience demands
Yeah.
live, then it will be live.
Yeah, they like it. I mean, to be involved in the show
It is.
is huge, and that's the whole reason we're at
Mhm.
where we are, is because we interact with our audience. Most of our shows are just us interacting with our fans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Our friends,
Yep. Like,
Fans.
and-
our fan friends,
Our
our
fan
friends.
friends.
and it's really cool. Like when you go out of your way to support somebody, an activist that's doing good in the world. I like to tell people, because I really believe this, like when I support an activist that's doing good with money or whatever, assets, resources, time, effort, whatever, I am sort of like enabling them to do the good in the world. And so I get to take partial credit for the good that they do. And that's a good feeling. It makes me feel good to help people do good in the world. And so in the beginning of the channel, I didn't even ask for donations. And then people were like, hey, I want to help. And then it was a while before I even understood why they wanted to help. And it's because it makes them a part of what I'm doing. And when, like,
Yeah.
I told somebody recently that donated some stuff to help me get some equipment to do an even better quality audiobook for the Most Dangerous Superstition book. They now basically have partial credit for that book when it comes out. And that's going to be a really powerful effect. A powerful thing on the world.
Yes.
And so I encourage people to donate now because I want them to have that experience of helping. And I know what it's like because I help other people. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the people in our group they call it our stream. It's like this is our stream for the group. It's like our show.
What group is this?
And what Liberty Memes community group.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where I didn't know where my face was appearing right now.
It's a group of 20,000 people. We don't reach them all because the algorithms and everything like that. But we do get a lot of random people in every once in a while, and we do have our very excited group of people that follow us.
Yeah. And Facebook, Mark lets some other people see the video sometimes in the group. So we get a good reach though,
ain't bad.
about 1,000 or 2,000 maybe views or reach, whatever. But it's nice, and we get some new people popping in here and there every week. So, and then they kind of tend to come back, or maybe they say like, oh, you know what, Mary and Dave aren't for me. I'm like, that's okay, because we're different. So we're not for everybody. But yeah, we love our Liberty Memes family. So do you know about Liberty Memes? Have you ever followed Liberty Memes?
Ben White made sure I knew about it.
All right. Yes, I bet you, without a doubt.
I figure if you're not in the Facebook culture.
Yeah.
And
if you're not in the
and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ben White can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we had one of the admins of that group in Dallas recently at our meetup group. Actually, I'm not sure.
You did,
Oh my gosh,
you had
Peter was there.
Peter Gay, yeah.
Yes.
Peter Gay, admin
He
one.
is the
Okay.
creator of Liberty Memes.
So
Yeah.
he was at our meetup group. So I talked to him about it.
Yeah, we saw
that's
some
so-
pictures of that.
Yes,
Oh,
Ben
okay.
sent some pictures to show. Yeah, he's like, Peter's hanging with my people.
He's down there on business.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. I hope sometime we can come to one of your meetups. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, we got to find a way
want
to.
tour.
Yes. Yeah. Right now we're working on like just the kind of northeastern, staying in our area kind of tour. But yeah, someday. Now, are you going to go to like the Libertarian Convention, whatever that's coming
The
up? I mean, or
party.
do you just like, yeah, is that something that you're interested in, or are you just kind of,
Well, I was considering, I guess this is another exclusive announcement, but it's kind of an unannouncement. So I was considering doing a not president campaign with your previous guest, Sean Jones, actually. But
oh my gosh.
but this medical stuff has, been priority, so I don't think it's going to happen this
Sure.
cycle. Maybe in 4 years we'll
Yeah.
make a big stink in the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party is significantly not as libertarian as I am. So, it never really goes well in that way. I usually piss off a lot of the people in the party, but
Yes.
but it's
Gotta
good.
be totally engaged.
It's good to represent what the actual principles stand for, and that's what I try and do. And that's what I tried to do in the governor race here in Texas, and
Yes.
pissed off a lot of people.
And that's kind of what
That's
we're doing
okay.
from our side is to try to influence the party, on what real libertarianism is,
Yeah.
because it seems like they stray into a political sphere to,
It's just
Politics.
politics.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
If the libertarian message is not voting is an invalid bullshit process that has no right to control you, and if you want to vote for us, do it only as activists to get us behind, to get us a larger platform to reach more people with liberty messages, then that's
Yeah.
I think that's a invalid. I don't think that's a real liberty message. Like, if you are telling people by your actions, this is where most libertarians go wrong, I think, if we want to get into this. They tell people with their mouth that, they're fighting for liberty, but with their actions, they're trying to play the political game. They're trying to get delegates and get votes and
yes.
play
Yep.
issues and do this retarded
Same
political
thing
process.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with their mouth, they're generally speaking good, but with their actions, they're convincing people to participate in an invalid process that has no rightful control, no rightful say over their life, and so their actions speak louder than words. And the only way
Yeah.
that you
And even their words have been screwed up lately.
that's true. I mean, there's libertarian socialists in the Libertarian Party.
I
It's
know.
just
What
how-
is that?
how did that
What?
happen?
That makes my brain explode.
back,
Yeah.
go back.
I debated one on my channel a while back. It was hilarious. Like I think at one point he was just like, he said there's something wrong with my brain. Like he couldn't respond. He said there's something wrong with his brain. It's like, I don't know, man.
He had
Maybe it's the socialism.
No retort to your argument.
But,
I agree.
No, it's a complete and total dumpster fire, as you would expect it to be, because it by its nature of existing in a political space is going to be the doorway to liberty, and that means you're going to get the statists, the people that are just starting down the path to liberty. So you can never have a real expectation that the party is going to be very principled, because its principles are in opposition to the game it's playing. And so the people that join to play that game are not going to be in line with its principles. It's self-contradictory in
yes.
nature. And so you have to have a
Yeah.
lot of patience with that aspect of the Libertarian Party, because the nature of itself is to be self-contradictory. And
Wow.
And you hope the people that they draw in get it to the right people so they
Exactly.
can actually learn the real principles.
exactly.
So we can take them and throw them down that slope.
It is a
Right.
honeypot. It is a honeypot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Come on in, baby.
Well, that's what, when they played the game, what were we watching? And somebody was talking about, or we were listening to something where it's the Republicans, Democrats, Libertarian Party, whoever else, they're just playing a game. The people are on a team, they just want their team to win. So it's like their principles and their values don't really matter to them, because
Depends on
it's
how
just
you score.
right. I'm I'm a Republican. It doesn't matter what they're saying. I'm a Republican and I want my team to win. So if they change their stance on something, I'm for it because I'm on their team, and I really like what a lot, like you have to say. And I've heard other people, talk about this a lot, but the philosophy, the having that, oh boy, I can't think of the word, but having that foundation, and saying like, I'm not going to just say I'm a libertarian or I'm a Republican or Democrat or whatever, and I'm going to go whatever they say, I'm going to go for it, But to have that foundation and say, here are my principles, this is what I believe. I think we need more people like that. And I hate seeing that crap.
Well, and you become very hated, especially in the Libertarian Party, because if you stand there and you just simply do nothing but explain and represent the raw, consistent libertarian principle, and this is what I found out. I didn't intend this to happen. This wasn't I didn't predict this would happen, but here's what happened. Like, I became disliked because before I was there was no measuring stick for libertarian principle amongst the candidates that were playing the political game. And so they could all just kind of be mushy-mashy, wishy-washy politicians. And then when all I did, and I'm not even special, I just stood there and said, look, this is the libertarian principle. Here's how it applies. You're wrong. That's wrong. That's inconsistent, and that's it.
Yes.
And here's why it's inconsistent. And just by existing in the space next to these people, it makes them uncomfortable. It makes them resentful.
No.
Because you're making them look unlibertarian. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you can go watch
That's
my I did 2 gubernatorial debates and with the other libertarian candidates, and one of them
No kidding.
one of them supported
I want to see that.
one of them supported taxation for the purposes of supporting some kind of special state-only version of Texas Medicare, and another one of the candidates supported a form of taxation for the purposes of schools, because somebody wrote in the Texas Constitution that by God, schooling is a human right or some shit. And so they thought that taxation to support public schools in Texas is allowed. And I'm just standing there, look,
Wow.
you can't steal from people. I don't care if it's in your Texas Constitution. And I'm just sitting on the stage chuckling to myself on this debate stage like, this is a libertarian principle. You can't steal from people. And this guy wants to steal,
You
and
lost
this
me at
lady wants to
supported
steal,
taxation.
and stop it.
Yeah.
It was,
Yes.
it was,
You're doing it all wrong.
it was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
It was wild. Yeah.
It's weird that people can just put a label on themselves and say I'm libertarian, even though they're not backing the philosophies of, but and
Vice
then-
president who ran for vice president.
The
who ran for vice president.
the fatal flaw, the Achilles heel, the complete undermining of the Libertarian Party is that you do not have the ability to disassociate in a political party. The nature of politics is that it includes everyone. Everyone must be able to participate. Otherwise, they start losing the facade of the consent of the governed, right? And so if you can't
Yeah.
exclude anyone, like if the Libertarian Party can't say, look, we're only for libertarians and you're not one, get out. You literally can't do that in in any political party.
Yeah.
You're going to have
Yeah.
everyone. You're going to have garbage. You're going to have people calling themselves socialists in the Libertarian Party.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is self.
Put those words together.
I know that's,
Yeah. You can't prevent it in politics. That's why it's dumb.
yeah, that's what it's down.
So I'm going to just go out and help, in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, screw politics.
Right. Well, I feel like that's a big thing, is just kind of changing kind of where you are,
Your hearts and minds around you.
Yeah, just be in the space that you're in, I don't know, just love on people and just show them and talk to them. And I really need to get out there more and do that. So I'm hoping to learn more.
Mhm.
I'm really excited about watching your videos. Are there a lot of bad words that, if I have it playing in front of my kids, or should I put my earbuds in?
I don't know. More. I cuss occasionally lately. I cuss as often as I've cussed in this stream. How about that?
Oh, okay.
I think
that's
David
fine.
could handle that.
Yeah, David.
As
totally
long as
can.
we're not swearing,
As long as I'm
anybody
not
else
swearing.
swearing.
Yeah. Anyone else swearing, my 10-year-old's like, oh, that's fine, whatever, but I say hell and he's crawling on my ass about
He's
it.
he's bringing out the little jar. Here's your swear
Yeah.
jar, Mom.
Swear jar, Mom. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And there is literally nothing I could say into this camera that wouldn't have somebody disagreeing with what I was saying or how I was saying it. So I'm just myself, and take it or leave it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we are way into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. See, I need to get out there. I need to just get out there and be free, be me outside of the group, and just let the world see Mary for who she really is, the ANCAP that she is. I don't know much, but I know I hate the government. It's like that should be a song. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Zach. Hi, Nick. I swear, our comments, somebody said we're on a 5-minute delay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It is so bad right now.
Yeah.
Great job, Facebook.
It is so
Yeah.
bad. I know. Yeah.
Facebook's
Woo!
screwing something up against
We're going to get 1 star for
Yeah.
this one.
Anytime they ask me to rate the stream.
Zuckerberg just got jealous of YouTube's success in the video space. He's like, we can stream too. No,
Yeah.
you can't. You can't.
No,
You're terrible.
you can't.
Yeah, I watched the video. We're supposed to be streaming ourselves like smoking meat and cooking on our grill. We're not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's not what Facebook meant when they said live stream videos.
Yep.
They meant show us, a rainbow or
They're way
driving
into
down the road.
gameplay. You
Yeah.
can play your video games. They're
Oh,
good with
sure.
that.
Yeah, gameplay. Yep. We do have a Minecraft server going with some friends within this group. So I got to get in there and have. Do you ever? No, I was going to say, do you guys video games? Do you do video games with the kids, or do they have a console or two that they or like games?
My daughter's the gamer. Like she'll sit up here and play all kinds of games with me. Like
Yeah.
we play this. There's this game that's kind of like the old school Diablo game called Path of Exile, and
I played that.
you have like
I got
you have
that.
like potions, healing potions and mana potions and stuff like that. And she's in charge of the potions, and so she's only 4, but she
Doles them
handles
out.
the potions
Yes.
very well. She keeps her fingers on 1, 2, 3,
Wow.
4, and 5, and anytime she sees the hit points dropping a little low, she damn sure drinks a potion. So we have a
Oh.
good
You
time.
guys are on Steam.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good stuff.
Wow, that 4 years old running Path of Exile. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to step up Jane's game. She's
Yeah.
she's 4 and a half.
Yeah, Chris is 5. He's playing a lot of car games. He's
Yeah.
he knows more exotic cars than I do.
Oh my
He's like-
gosh. He's saying that, like, what's a Pagani? And I'm like,
Pagani,
I don't
yeah.
know. What the hell is it?
We have
Let me Google that.
we have some ANCAP gamers on the Disenthrall Discord server that are interested in like rolling up some ANCAP like 7 Days to Die servers or Imperial.
Wow.
Imperial-
Wow.
Did you know that one of the devs on 7 Days to Die is an ANCAP that lives in Dallas? I know the guy. So
No kidding.
Wow.
yeah, it's really cool.
I'm pretty sure that's the one I played. Yeah.
I
That's
can't
very
mention who he
cool.
is because he
Yes.
likes to stay anonymous. He doesn't want that, he
Yeah.
doesn't want his
Yeah.
company knowing. But yeah, no, it's
Just
cool
like
stuff.
us. It's like, yeah, it protects your job in a liberal world,
That's very cool. Yep.
but you put your influence in there.
Mm.
It sounds like a good idea, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so we might be doing like a 7 Days to
That's
Die
awesome.
server soon, and might be doing some Let's Plays on the channel. I just like for the longest time I tried to make my channel like philosophy and
Yeah.
that's it. But
You gotta have a little fun.
I think I want it to be like my channel to do whatever the hell I want.
Holy cow.
So
Yes. Yes.
Christian just said
I like
Bill
that.
Weld, and I realized how far behind our comments are.
Oh boy. He dropped out, by the way. Yes, our comments are so far behind. This is terrible.
Yeah.
No, good for you for just, taking it in whatever direction you feel like you want to go with it,
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta keep it real.
Yeah. Are you subscribed to PewDiePie?
No, I'm actually
That's a serious
not.
question.
I'm
though.
not. No.
Oh, damn it.
That's why he lost.
That's why he lost the T
Are you
series.
gonna blame me?
because-
Okay. I didn't even know he lost. Actually, that's how out of touch I am with
Oh,
that.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
it's a running joke. In our,
It is a lot of people. Yeah, but I like PewDiePie because I feel like he's kind of grown with us as far as like the gaming, and then now he's kind of into memes and stuff.
Well, he's a
and it's
Nazi too,
it's
right?
interesting to watch him. oh yeah, they like to spin it any way they can. So I feel bad that, I guess with the fame comes anything you say or ever do,
Ridicule.
ever is going to be twisted and turned into weird kind of crazy things. But
Yep.
yeah, he's Pewds. Oh my goodness. I have I'm gonna live stream me sleeping, says Toby. You know what though? People would probably watch that. Oh my
viral.
gosh. These comments are nuts. So okay. So I'm gonna go. I have to go pee. I have to take a bathroom break. So
If you could,
do you want to call it for right now?
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay.
this is a good.
Go
This is a
ahead,
good
Pat, I'm
stopping
sorry.
point. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's been fun. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for coming. This has been a lot of fun. We just like to
Yeah.
talk to people and get to know them and hang out. This is what we do. This is what
Awesome.
and learning. Yeah. So I'm gonna check out all that stuff. Your channel,
Disenthrall.me.
yeah,
And I take
your
requests.
videos.
So if there's a topic that you'd like me to talk about, let me know. I'll make a video.
Yes. All right. Thank
That'd be
you.
good, yeah.
That is very cool. My wheels are spinning. So I'm gonna check out that book. When do you think that audiobook's gonna come out that you're working on right now?
Man, I can't make any promises with the medical stuff. Like
Okay.
my time is really hit and miss right now. I'm doing the best I can, but yeah, I don't want to
That's okay.
promise.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
No, that's-
Hopefully 6 months.
We'll be
Okay.
keeping our eye on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
And
Definitely.
if you want, you can come back and we have a better stream with better quality, and
Yes.
we can talk about
and
that.
maybe do it not on Facebook since Facebook sucks so bad.
And if you have a topic that you'd like to discuss, you're welcome to come on my show sometime. We'll talk through it.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh, that is so
That would be
cool.
exciting.
I just got really excited.
I'm always looking for good conversations, guys. So if you have something to talk about, let's do it.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much, Patrick. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, y'all too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Wow. I see there's a fight going on in the chat. What's going on, guys? What's happening here? Let's oh man, I'm not in my normal streaming software. Woo! That was the thing. How y'all doing? Is there a fight happening in the chat? What's up? What's this Mike guy? He's pissing people off. What's up? How's it going, Mike? Who are you? What do you want? Let's see. Rika won't stop whatever you want me to stop. Well, that's Rika. Good to see you, Rika. I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit. If you have anything you want to talk about, go about 15 minutes here or so. This was supposed to be a private, unlisted stream for supporters of the channel, so I guess it went out to everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. It was an interesting interview. Talked about a lot of stuff. Went all over the place. Wobbly Boost. Phobes, what is up? Think she's in love with me. I think she was getting tipsy, man. I think that's what was going on. Mike Taryn, it's my turn. Nah, man, not trying to fight. Okay. Esoteric says Mike guy's a troll. Don't know what's going on. Oh, man, what happened? I was like talking to some tipsy people. What were you guys doing? What was the argument about? Mike has been chosen. Okay. Well, why don't we move this over to Discord? I'll hang out in the Discord voice for a while. We'll get off the live stream. I'm probably going to like play some video games and hang out with you guys in voice. So if you guys want to hop on the Discord with us, I'll jump in voice here in a minute. Give me like 5 minutes to take a break after this and we'll catch up there. Yeah, Esoteric, we can chat. You're on the Discord, right? Let's do it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a bonus. It was supposed to be for the supporters, but everybody got it. Hey guys, if you want to become supporters to get access to the private stuff, the private streams that we do in the future, you know, Patreon, Subscribe Star, Bitbacker, etc. I will talk to you guys soon.